Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena,
Devan bhavayatanena,
te deva bhavayantu vaha,
te deva bhavayantu vaha,
parasparam bhavayantaha,
parasparam bhavayantaha,
Shreya paramavapsyatha,
Shreya paramavapsyatha,
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha,
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha,
dasyante yajna bhavitaha,
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha,
taidattana pradayaibhyaha,
Tairdattana pradayaibhyaha,
yo bhungte stena eva saha,
Yo bhungte stena eva saha,
yajna shishtashinah santaha,
Yajna shishtashinah santaha,
muchyante sarvakilbishaihi,
Muchyante sarvakilbishaihi,
bhunjate te tvagam papaha,
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha,
ye pachantyatmakaranat,
Ye pachantyatmakaranat,
annad bhavanti bhutani,
Annad bhavanti bhutani,
parjanyadanna sambhavaha,
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha,
यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः
यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So, we had a very powerful launch of Shri Hanumat Dhyana in the Yoga Sankirtan series. You're all extremely fortunate that these kinds of materials are being made and given to you. Without these materials, to do the sadhana becomes almost impossible, considering the kind of distractions and temptations. The very lifestyle itself has changed. Your mind is so preoccupied with so many things. That is what they have defined in the Puranas, how Kali Yuga will be. The very capacity of the mind to penetrate will reduce considerably. The capacity to think clearly will reduce. The capacity to do sadhana, tapas, will also reduce. So when that happens, what we need to do is, we need to compensate it with some materials. That is what is being done for you. So when you take the help of these sadhana materials, it will ensure that you are connected to the Guru Shakti. And even if you're not able to penetrate, your mind gets distracted, it goes here and there, the material will keep on generating that higher energy. And even if your mind gets distracted, no issue. As long as you are very sincere in doing the sadhana and you maintain a basic awareness, the energy will work and it will heal you of those factors which are making the mind restless, and it will slowly over a period of time stop this distraction of the mind. So in the good old days, very little help was given. If you go to the pre-Vedic times, the entire wisdom was given in silence only. And when the students required some help, the help which was given by the master to the students was just one chant. It may be Om. Om is a very fundamental mantra which incidentally contains all the mantras. So just one chant, one mantra. or just one word. This was the kind of help which was given. Now, if that system is followed today, it will really not help you. Because, see, during those days, the capacity of the student was so high that just this extra help was required for them to get into deeper meditation. See, ultimately, when you go deep within you, that is the path and that is the very sadhana. So you will discover yourself. You will discover your higher self. Now, it's not just once in a while doing it. We are talking of on a consistent basis to be able to do that. That is a challenge. So, as the capacity of the student reduced, the masters started creating some more materials which could help the student. So, a few more mantras were given. Those are actually the Upanishads. The Upanishadic mantras are themselves quite exhaustive when compared to the pre-Vedic times. But then again, when the students' capacity started deteriorating, more help was given. So today, the deterioration of the mind is has happened to a very great extent. That is the very nature, or I would say structure, of Kali Yuga. So just to sit and be in touch with the infinite, which was very naturally done during the pre-Vedic times, is extremely difficult today. This is what the masters called as samsara. Samsara means the cycle which actually pulls your mind away completely and gets you totally disconnected from the infinite. It creates so many blocks. It doesn't allow you to do the sadhana. And what is that ultimate sadhana? Being in silent communion with God, with the infinite. So when so many blocks are there, then subsequently more and more help was given. So these Yoga Sankirtan materials which have been created are aimed towards giving you that support. It's a support system. To do everything by yourself is very difficult. Like we are having every Sunday, the yogic approach. The yogic approach towards life. We are using the text of Bhagavad Gita to go deep into ourselves and to understand life better, so that you can transform yourself. Now, this is also a support system. Now, this will give you incidentally, the Sunday sessions. One who attends these Sunday sessions on a regular basis will get that necessary inspiration to do the sadhana, daily sadhana. And then it will go for 1 week, and again the support is given. So, every day through the sadhana materials, the support is given. Every week through these sessions, the extra support, the extra help is given. So as a sadhak, you should very enthusiastically make use of all this to transform your life. So one thing is to download all these sadhana materials and keep them. But the most important thing is you should use them effectively. What is preventing you from doing that? Nothing. It's your own choice only. Never ever say, I am unable to do something, I can't do this, I can't. Always say, I choose not to do this. Because the moment you start reiterating this fundamental principle that as a human being you have a choice, then the moment you say, I am choosing this, you will not be able to continue in that wrong path. So you will start choosing the higher. So we were doing verse number 11. We were in the process of completing it. Completing it in the sense, the real completion happens only when you get the highest experience. Here in this sequence we are talking about. Now, incidentally, what we were seeing was the principle of Shreya, and that is based on the choice only. So what is this verse number 11? I am just recapitulating. May you nourish the gods by this. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantuha. May the gods nourish you. So we have already seen what is yajna, what is the significance of gods. So may you nourish the gods and may the gods nourish you. So I have explained it in detail. So from a cosmic sense, gods mean the worldly forces, natural forces. From the external sense, gods represent the various goals which you fix. And from the internal sense, gods mean good qualities which you need to develop. So you need to focus your efforts on these three things only. To become one with nature, not to unnecessarily disturb it. Then to fix various goals for yourself in life so that you will get a direction, and also to keep on developing good qualities within you, qualities which will pull you up. And then nourishing each other, parasparam bhavayantaha, shall you obtain the highest good. So in a spirit of cooperative endeavor, you can achieve anything you want. All by yourself, it's not possible. It's only by functioning in a spirit of cooperation that your progress can also be achieved. See, generally, the word parasparam is very important. Generally, what happens is, when you want to take all the credit, then you will not be supportive in the team. Life is always about team effort only. The team may be 2 people, it may be 10 people, it may be 100 people. We are not talking of the numbers. You are in a position where you have to give something and take something from someone. That cannot be avoided. So what they are saying is parasparam, be a team player. So you also benefit, the other person also benefits. This is called parasparam, the principle of parasparam, mutual benefit. So when you apply that, it will facilitate your growth. When you are not a team player, you separate yourself. What is it that separates you from the rest? It is your ego only. Then who will be the ultimate loser? It is you who will be the loser. So parasparam bhavayantaha shreyaha param shreyaha avapsyata. So we also saw the principle of shreyaha. Shreyaha is such a beautiful principle. The word shreyaha means good, better and best. So I did spell it out for you. The first step is start picking up those things which will do good for you. Next is go on bettering yourself. Never ever stop your growth. And the third thing is the best. When you follow the first two, you will start going for the best, and it's a question of time. You will get enlightened. You will become a sthita prajna, which is the highest state, param shreya. Now, what is very interesting is, there is a particular stress. See, whenever we use the word shreya, that word stresses on a particular principle. What is that? We need to look into that, because this will be very useful for your sadhana. The moment we talk of good, better and best, what is the principle there which is being emphasized? That is the principle of continuous improvement in the positive direction. Continuous improvement. So, there are some more dimensions of Shreya which I have already explained from a sadhana point of view, but this is we will look at it from a slightly different angle. Shreya means more excellent. It also means more happy. Very interesting. It means more blessed. One is to say I am happy, but Shreya doesn't stop with that. It says more happy, more excellent. So, three things: excellence, then happiness and blessings. Now, it's enough if we see this, because if we go into all the dimensions now, that will be too exhaustive. This is more than enough for your sadhana. So, this is also something which you should practice, the principle of adding more everywhere. What do we mean by adding more? Anything which you do in life, supposing you do it in the perfect way, let us say. The moment you add the word more and say more perfect, now it means there is scope for growth. So in life, you always look at the scope for growth. You never stop and stagnate anywhere. In terms of what? In terms of number one, excellence, which means everything which you do it as perfectly as possible today, but at the same time more excellent. The moment you add more, it means you're going to improve it further. Similarly, happiness. Right now, you should be very happy with whatever you have, but then you should add more happy, which means you're going to continuously improve your happiness, increase your happiness day by day. Blessings. You should consider your whole life as a blessing, but then more blessings. You should conduct yourself in such a way, you should choose such positive things, higher things in life, that you will go on getting more and more blessings. So, when we talk of excellence, when we talk of happiness, blessings, all these factors, that is one thing, that is one level. But the moment we use the word Shreya to mean all these, it means more excellence, more happiness, more blessings. The emphasis or stress is on that word more. This is what you should learn as a sadhak. The day you stop growing, you will start stagnating. You will it will ultimately lead to putrefaction. So our yogis, our great rishis understood this weakness of the mind. It wants to stagnate, doesn't want to grow further. Therefore, they use the word shreyaha, where the emphasis is on more. Whatever it is that you achieve, more, I'm talking in terms of excellence, more excellence. So you will be constantly putting in effort to better yourself and to better your life. In other words, you will become an eternal sadhak, an eternal student. So the very principle of shreyaha, by emphasizing on the word more, infuses that spirit of sadhana within you. If you just absorb the energy of shreyaha, now you will become a very powerful sadhak, because you will do the sadhana today, but shreyaha means more excellent. So you may do your sadhana very well today, but then I'll improve further. I'll do better next time. So even though we say good, better, best, the whole emphasis is on that word better. And what is interesting is, this is the very nature of the infinite. Infinite means there is no end. The moment you end, it is finite. So that is why they have portrayed Lord Shiva sitting and meditating. Now the question will come to you, if Lord Shiva is the manifestation of that infinite reality, what is the necessity for him to sit and meditate? Similarly, Lord Narayana is in Vishnu Yoga Nidra, that is a state of deep meditation. If he is already a manifestation of the infinite, then what is the necessity for Narayana to meditate? They are not mere sadhaks. They are direct manifestations of the infinite. So what is the principle that they are trying to teach us? In spite of being the direct manifestation of the infinite, I am sitting and doing meditation, tapas. Which means the infinite is endless. The moment we put an end to growth, that becomes finite. And this is the experience of all the yogis. The deeper you go into the infinite, and as you start merging with the infinite, you will find that it is an endless process. But at every level, it will give you more happiness. That's why more happy. It will give you more blessings. It will make your actions more and more excellent. Not only your actions, your very personality itself. So, application of this word shreyaha in the right way will make you such a powerful sadhak. If Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, if they are meditating, then what about you and me? Just think of that principle, Isn't it amazing? Because that is the very nature of infinite. Continuously moving towards more and more growth. The moment there is an end, then it is finite. So every yogi experiences this. The more he learns the infinite wisdom, he finds that there is more to learn. And that is why Bhagavan Dattatreya, he said, throughout my life I have only been learning. I am not a teacher, I can only share whatever I learned. You may call me a teacher, he said. You may call me a master, but I don't consider myself as all that. All I know is I have learned many things and I can share it with you, and I am continuing to learn. Who was Bhagavan Dattatreya? He was an incarnation of Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. You can imagine. All the three forces combined, and that was Bhagavan Dattatreya. And he says this. So this very word Shreyaha contains such a powerful secret. The secret to better yourself, the secret to perfect yourself, and the secret to merge with the infinite. So when it is a continuous process, this question will come to your mind. Then if this is endless, won't we get tired, won't we get bored? That is why I picked up these three dimensions of Shreya: excellence, happiness and blessing. At every stage, you are going to become more excellent. At every stage, you are going to become more happy. Earlier stage, you experience one level of happiness, bliss. Next stage, you will experience more happiness, more bliss. And at every stage, you will keep receiving more blessings. So this is the gradation, the endless gradation of excellence, happiness and blessings. So there is no question of getting bored. Actually, every minute will become very interesting. Even from a relative sense, if you practice this, just practice this science of learning, being a good student. Learn something or other every day. This is from a worldly sense I'm talking of. Even if you bring that spirit within you, now it will make your life very interesting. Actually, when you stop learning, that is when life becomes boring. When you stop experiencing happiness, that is when you get tired. When you're enjoying something so much, you will never get tired of doing it. Haven't you observed that? You may be physically tired, but mentally you will have that energy. So if you just give that required rest to the body, again you will come back with the same enthusiasm. How? Because you're enjoying it. You're so happy doing it. So when you are in the path of Shreya, every second will be so enjoyable in your life. Because you are constantly growing more. Shreya. It is a continuous process of growth. So every second you will be becoming more excellent. You will start experiencing more and more bliss and happiness. You will not be dependent on any external factor for your happiness. Today you are dependent on so many things for your happiness. And you will start receiving more and more blessings, literally infinite blessings. Then how can you get bored? How can you get tired? This is the secret of the energy of all the yogis and siddhas. Even if their body has become old, if you take a siddha or a yogi, the body is subject to changes. The body may become old. But if you see that yogi's inner spirit will remain intact. You know, Swami Ramatita, he says, when he was in the Himalayas, sometimes he used to, many a times he used to note down his thoughts, whatever comes out of inspiration, no? He used to note down. So in that, what he writes is that when the body is subject to fever, now that fever has no power to reduce the spiritual inspiration, he says. That was his experience. He was writing down his experience. Now, fever is only an example. What he is trying to say is, even when the body gets some disease or it's unwell, he says that is not a deterrent factor for the spiritual inspiration. He used to call himself, he used to refer to himself as Rama. He says Rama was always inspired. Actually, during the days of fever, he says, since Rama could not move around, he used to sit and meditate more only. He used to sit and be with the self in a total way. The inspiration became more only, he says. See, this was the experience of the yogis. This is the experience of all yogis. You will also start experiencing this when you keep doing your sadhana. So, the principle of shreya, when practiced properly, now that will deepen your sadhana. You will start experiencing layers and layers of bliss and happiness. You will start receiving continuous divine blessings. You will start functioning in a very effective way. Excellence which cannot be conceived. That level of excellence you will start exhibiting. The grace, So from where does it all start? Shreya, good, better, best. So this is from a practical sadhana point of view. Now from a little higher level, he is saying Param Shreya, referring to that highest goal. So when the emphasis is on more, now you get a very, when you look at it from a philosophical sense, you get a very powerful attitude in life. You start building a very powerful attitude. That is, what he's trying to say is, today you may experience something which is great in life. It may be a sensual experience, it may be some other worldly experience, it may be so-called some spiritual experience, whatever it is. Something which is so wonderful. But when you understand this principle of Shreya, you will never get stuck there. You will not get caught up there. Rather, you will always understand that there is something more than this. You may put in a lot of effort and let's say you acquire a lot of wealth. You become very wealthy. Now what the yogis are asking is, so what? Okay, you've gained a lot of wealth, but there is something more. Shreyaha means more, the emphasis on more. There is something higher. Shreyaha also means superior. So anything in life you achieve, the tendency is immediately the ego gets boosted. But if you apply the principle of Shreyaha, you will never be egoistic about it, because you know that there is something more, there is something superior to this, which is the divine experience. Sir, I have studied the Bhagavad Gita for 3 years I have been attending these sessions, yogic approach. Now if you say that, now my question to you will be, so what? Shreyaha, there is something more than this. There is something more superior which you need to attain. So when this principle of Shreyaha forms a protective barrier for a sadhak, when a sadhak absorbs his energy, he will never get stuck at any level. Whatever he achieves, he just has to apply this principle of Shreyaha. Now he will enjoy that, but he will not get lost in that. So you acquire a lot of wealth, okay, enjoy it. But you will do it in a very detached way. Why? Because you have applied the principle of Shreyaha. There is something more. There is something which is far, far superior to all this, which is the infinite. And that is my real purpose. That is my ultimate purpose. So, the application of this principle of Shreyaha gets you perfectly attuned with your ultimate purpose in life. You know, in one of the Upanishads, he demonstrates the application of the principle of Shreyaha. What happens is, the master gives tremendous healing energy and empowerments. So the students go into very, very deep states of meditation, advanced stages of meditation. And at one stage, the student gets a very powerful spiritual experience. It's almost close to being a Sita Prajna, you know. So the student is so happy. He is reveling in that experience. And the master sees that. Immediately he says, whatever you are experiencing now is not the highest. He just puts the principle of Shreyaha there. Why? Because when the experience is more subtle, it gives you more enjoyment, it gives you more inspiration. There is also a chance, there is more is a chance that you may get stuck there, you may get involved in that. And that is why the master immediately puts the brakes by applying Shreyaha. Whatever you're experiencing is not the highest. The highest is still there, he says. Then the student immediately, wakes up. It's not that you should not experience the relative enjoyments. No, that is not what these masters are saying. You go through all those experiences, but never ever get stuck there. The moment you get stuck there, you will become a slave. Your mind will constantly be running towards that object only. The mind should always be pegged on to the infinite. And you experience the world to whatever extent you want. You will be untouched. How do you practicalize this? By the application of this principle of Shreyaha. So wherever you find your ego coming up, I have achieved this, ask yourself, so what? What is the big deal? Shreyaha, there is something more. There is that superior experience, which they are calling as God realization, The moment you bring that, then your ego will literally get dissolved. This is the way you keep on growing. This is the attitude you will get in your life. Everything is there in front of you. You get that capacity to get everything, but you never ever get lost in that. This state is called detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you run away from the world. That is not detachment. Actually, when you run away from the world, it means you're afraid to face the world. No. See, the moment you say, oh, if I'm here, that can affect me, it means you're having a weakness. You're not strong enough. A yogi state is not that. A yogi has reached a yogi has reached a very powerful state of spiritual independence. So you can also do that by applying this principle of Shreya. So when you keep on doing that, you will achieve Param Shreya, the highest good, which is the supreme reality, the state of God realization or self-realization. Now, we'll also see one more thing here, Avapsyata. Avapsyata means you shall obtain, you shall get. So the very word Avapsyata means that highest experience of enlightenment is a stage which is beyond your efforts. You can only receive it. You can get it as a blessing. So, when you're doing your sadhana, you keep on purifying yourself till that last step. But that is where your efforts end. Thereafter, how is it that you become enlightened? You receive that higher experience. The higher grace flows into you. So even at that last point, he smashes the ego. I want to achieve God realization. I want to realize God. You cannot, because the emphasis is on I there. So the very word avapsyata removes the emphasis from that I and shifts it to receiving the highest experience. The emphasis is not on I am going to experience. No. It's such a beautiful word. So put in all your efforts, but at the same time always be in a spirit of devotion and surrender. Whatever it is that you experience, the higher experiences in the spiritual path, now take it as a divine grace, divine blessings which are conferred upon you. This way you will ensure that the ego never ever comes, even if you move to a very advanced level in the spiritual path. See, when you achieve something in the world, the ego comes. That itself, they are saying, is a big block. But when you achieve something in the spiritual path and you develop ego over it, that is called, we can call it the spiritual ego if required. Now, that is even more dangerous. The ego that I am worldly is a block, but the ego that I am spiritual is a very dangerous thing. Because when you get that ego that I am spiritual, you will get disconnected from the Guru Shakti. You will stop taking guidance. I have seen this happen to many sadhaks. They sincerely do the sadhana. They grow to a certain extent. And then the ego takes over. They stop their efforts. So in the Upanishad he says, if you revel in, if you are in a state of ignorance, now that is a state of darkness. You will enter into darkness, he says. But if you revel in vidya, knowledge, you will enter into greater darkness, he says. Now, when you read that, you will wonder whether should I now gain this knowledge or not. They are not talking about the per se the knowledge or the spiritual achievements. They are talking about the ego getting boosted. So that is why, how is it that you attain self-realization? The param shreya, how is it that you get? Avapsyata. You receive it. You get it. It's a divine blessing. It's a higher grace which flows into you. Which means the ego has completely dissolved. So if you observe yourself, you will find it very interesting. In the smallest of things, the ego tends to manifest and it wants to take the credit. Something very small, The achievement is very small if you see the whole, when you see the magnitude of this universe. But yet there, the ego wants to establish itself. And then you say, okay, let me now purify myself, and you start doing the sadhana. Then suddenly you develop an ego. I am a great sadhak. I understand the Bhagavad Gita better than others. I am more close to my guru. Some people get these kinds of egos. See, the ego is so deadly, and that is why he says, avapsyata, let the higher grace flow into me. I will be in the position of receiving. I am happy with that, he says. At what level? At the highest level. At the lowest level, we want to take the credit. We means, the ego within us. But here, param shreya, the highest experience, which means is one step below. At that point only you will get that experience, no? He says, that point, avapsyata, let it flow into me. So you can take that principle, this is the yogic approach, and start applying it from now itself. Put in all your efforts. Do your sadhana diligently. And when good results come, now take it as a divine blessing. Anyway, this point will be further given by him in the next verse also. When we go into the depth of the next verse, you will find that he will again be emphasizing on this point. Right from beginning itself, you should learn to tackle your ego. Then your progress will be expedited. It will be speeded up. So, avapsyata means shall you obtain. When you're doing the sadhana, when you're doing yajna, when you're practicing the principle of shreya, ensure the ego does not come and rob all the spiritual wealth which you gain out of your own tapas, See, to come to a certain level, whether it is from the worldly sense or from the spiritual sense, that you would have put in a lot of effort, no? So he is very compassionate. He says, you're putting a lot of effort and you're acquiring many things, and then you just squander away everything by bringing in the ego. He says, don't do that. So, parasparam bhavayantaha param shreyaha avapsyata means you're in a state of surrender. You're in a receiving mode. The Guru Shakti comes and guides to a person who is in that receptive mode, receiving mode, who is in that mode of surrender. This is what is symbolized in the Mahabharata. When Draupadi was humiliated in the court, and when Dushasana was disrobing her, the Pandavas were so passive, foolish, just to keep watching that. And they were internally suffering, all because of a misplaced value, that whatever the rules are, that have to be followed. That rule itself was adharmic, and the other person is misusing that. That's how Krishna approached life. But anyway, they were very passive, and great stalwarts like Bhishma and Drona, all of them just kept quiet. And Draupadi was helpless for a moment. She looked for help. She asked everyone. And when she found that nobody was helping, in that flash, she got into that mode of surrender. She just, lifted her arms and she surrendered to Lord Krishna, the higher power, and instantly help was given. But that surrender was complete. She didn't bother about anything. She didn't even bother about her reputation, man, apaman, everything. She went beyond all that. And she just, for that moment, split second, she surrendered, and instantly help came. You have read it in the Mahabharata. It's a very powerful incident. But what is the message you're getting from that? That is the attitude which you should develop in life. Put in all the efforts and achieve everything, but always be in that spirit of surrender. It's a very, very powerful state of a yogi. But that power is not the power of ego, but it is the power of surrender. Lord Hanuman exhibited that naturally. He was always in that state of surrender. See, he's teaching us a lesson through that. What is the state of Hanuman? He is a direct manifestation of the infinite, no? Yet he's playing that role just for us to absorb that sacred principle of being in that state of surrender. Avapsyata. It's a very, very inspiring word, He has ended the verse with that. Devan bhavayata yatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyaha param avapsyata. So, supposing, let's say, you have missed everything in this verse. I hope it's not that way, but just for argument's sake, sir, I don't understand what is Deva. Some people are always like that, You keep helping them so much, you keep giving them, this is not okay, I didn't really understand this, they keep on saying that. Okay, you've left Deva, Yajna, I didn't understand. Parasparam, Shreya also I didn't understand. Just be in the state of surrender. Avapsyata. That will save you. That will give you everything. That will give you the highest wisdom. That's why he has ended this verse with that powerful word, avapsyata. Now, what is interesting is, there is a deeper connotation of the avap. The avapsyata is the further extension of the word avap. Avap means, in the Sanskritam language, it means the quotient which you obtain in the process of division. Avap is actually the word which is used in mathematics. See, our great yogis were great scientists also. They had tremendous knowledge in different sciences and different arts. Some of them were great mathematicians, like in one of the Upanishads, the invocation, the principle infinite minus infinite is given. It's a very high level mathematical calculation. So they were very advanced. Fortunately, we have lost all that wisdom, all that knowledge has got lost. And the language which they used, the style which they used, everything was different because it was written thousands or millions of years back. So one has to decode all that. So this word avap is usually used in mathematics to refer to the quotient when you divide one number by another. See, whenever you divide a number, the number which you are dividing is called the dividend. I am giving you the modern mathematics terminology. This is very basic, which you would have read it in school. Then there is a divisor with which you are dividing. Whatever answer you get, that is the quotient. Of course, with some divisions there is also a remainder and all that. That's fine. We will go to in this context we will take up that quotient, which is what is referred to by avap. For example, if you divide the number 8 by 4, 8 divided by 4, 8 is a dividend, 4 is a divisor. Now 2 is the quotient. So once you divide a number with another number, whatever you get, that is called the quotient. Now he is using that mathematical term and referring to referring to this experience of getting the divine experience, the highest experience. So in that process of division, when you divide one number by another number, whatever you get is the quotient. So it directly matches, number one. Number two, it is very, very deep, the philosophy which he is trying to give by using a mathematical term here. That is, what is the dividend? Dividend is nothing but the combination of the divisor and the quotient. That's why the divisor is able to divide the dividend and get the quotient. So similarly, if you take your personality, what are you? You are nothing but a combination of matter and spirit. You have the material equipments. You also have the divine principle within you. So, your definition from a spiritual sense is nothing but the combination of matter and spirit, God. Spirit means here God. Don't equate it to some other spirit. See, the mind is so deadly. Anywhere it can bring in anything, So you have the physical body, you have the pranas, you have the emotions, mind, you have the thoughts, thinking, that is the intellect, buddhi. All these things define your material equipments. But deep, deep within you, beyond your body, beyond your pranas, beyond your emotions, beyond your thoughts, lies that supreme divine reality, that infinite reality, which is called God principle. So then, what are you? You are a combination of these matter equipments and divinity. So what do you need to do? You are a combination of these two, but you are not in touch with divinity. You are completely caught up with the matter layers. The divine principle within you is hidden. So how do you get to that divine principle? That is a very goal, no, of life. That is your ultimate purpose. How do you get to that God principle? Through this process of division. Or separation, we can say. See, division is nothing but separating. So you are like that dividend, combination of matter and divinity. Now, when you learn to divide yourself, which means separate the divinity from the matter equipments, and when you identify with divinity, that is when you get the experience of Param Shreya, the highest experience. When the divisor divides the dividend, now you get the quotient. So what is the divisor as far as you are concerned? The effort which you put in, the sadhana, the tapas, meditation, any kind of sadhana, whether you're right now listening to this, you're doing sadhana. This will help you to separate divinity from the material equipments. When you practice bhakti yoga, that is another way of separating the material equipments from divinity and getting attuned to divinity. That's what division is the process. You're dividing the dividend and you're focusing on the quotient, avap. So through sadhana, you separate the material equipments, the finite equipments, and you focus on the infinite. The infinite reality, divinity, which is there within you. So the word avapsyata has this hidden meaning. That also tells you what is the sadhana, the principle of sadhana. See, every word is like a gold mine. One way is to just simply say you shall obtain the highest good and we go away. But we are using the yogic approach, no? So how can we leave this? So when you're doing the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana, how is it helping you? It is helping you to build your awareness. When you keep on doing the sadhana, slowly, you will understand. It's not intellectual understanding. You will begin to experience that you are not the body. You are not the emotions. You are not the pranas. You are not the emotions. You are not the thoughts. You will start getting attuned to the divine aspect which is there within you. Today you are not attuned to that because it is in a state of combination, dividend. That combination is what they call as Jivatma. Jivatma contains these two aspects, the material equipments and the Paramatma, which is the supreme reality, divinity. And the whole exercise is to separate that. That is what we saw in chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is again nothing but talking about this only. So one thing is to use the relative aspects of this wisdom to gain success and all that in life. Yes, you should do that. But merely stopping with that will not give you the highest experience, because you have only boosted your ego further. But if you use that as an intermediate experience for your higher spiritual development, then avapsyata will happen to you. The process of separation. What is the difference between a yogi and a normal person? A yogi also acts. A yogi also feels. A yogi also thinks. But he is separated from his physical body. His consciousness is separated from the physical body, emotions and thoughts, and is rested on the avap element, the quotient, which is divinity. Whereas a normal person is attached to the finite because of that combination. When the combination is there, the quotient is hidden in the dividend. So today God is hidden, as it were, to you, and the process of avapsyata helps you to become one with divinity. So, see, with this, you read the whole verse, it's extremely inspiring, May you nourish the gods by this. May the gods nourish you. Nourishing each other, shall you obtain the highest good. Param Shreyaha avapsyata. So, he is explaining everything, and then finally he is coming to this word avapsyata. It's so powerful, where he is telling you, now it's time. You should learn to separate your material equipments from your divine nature, and you should get established in your divine nature. You're endlessly postponing that. One day I will do it. One day I will do it. When are you going to do it? Either now or never. Start the process. That is why I keep saying, do your daily sadhana, don't miss that. Every day when you keep doing your sadhana, you will get more and more established in the divine aspect within you. When you don't do your sadhana, you will get more attached to the worldly aspect within you. Choice is yours. Sir, choice is mine. What should I choose? Go to the previous principle, Shreyaha. Don't choose Preyaha. See, this verse is amazing, It's like poetry. You can just go on with this, and every level of depth we go, it just keeps filling us with more and more bliss and inspiration, tremendous inspiration. So you don't need to seek God anywhere outside. God is there, right within you, interlaced with your personality. That is what is interesting. That's why God is called Antaryami in our scriptures. Antaryami means one who is dwelling deep inside us. If you want to realize God, the more you try outside, you will fail. But when you go deep within, you will understand that that supreme divinity is your antaryami. It's dwelling right within you. This is what we do in the nididhyasana meditation every week, Beyond my body, beyond my emotions, thoughts, lies my higher self. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Those are all very powerful words which are being installed within you week after week. Week after week, when you keep doing that, what amount of impact it will have in your life. Just see, first you should understand the value of what is being given. Don't do it mechanically. Okay, so we'll stop here today. In the next week, we will get on with the next verse number 12. That's going to be a further development of this verse. 12 and 13 will be talking about the principle of give and take in greater detail. What is a wrong approach in that? What is a right approach? What is a mediocre approach? What are the effects of these approaches? All those things we'll be seeing. So we'll see as we go along, we will learn all those principles and start implementing them in our lives. Okay, so before we do the nididhyasana meditation, I'll just answer one small question. I'm not even reading that. Actually, this question has been asked by 2-3 sadhaks. This is regarding the 22-day empowerment course which is coming up in December. I think we're starting on the 2nd of December. Now, this is on attracting abundance. The question which has been posed is, Sir, do we need to do any special sadhana to get more prepared for the 22-day course? You don't need to do any special sadhana. Whatever daily sadhana which you're doing, just maintain that. Maintain the consistency in that. Number one, consistency is the key. Number two, I have been repeatedly telling you, from the moment you register for the course, from that moment you will be receiving the divine energy. The preparatory healing energy will be received by you because you are attracting it through your own commitment, through your own bhavana. So that is being sent to you, but only when you register and commit. So when you do your daily sadhana with good bhavana, automatically this preparatory healing energy will prepare you thoroughly. So you don't need to worry on that account. You don't need to do any special sadhana and all that. Come in a relaxed way. One more thing which you can do is write down your goals. What is it that I want to achieve in life? What is it that I want to experience in life? Before any empowerment program, you should always do that. Because in the empowerment program, the powerful energy is going to be invoked. The energy transference is going to be there. Your meditativeness will increase. That is, your meditative capacity will increase tremendously. Whatever karmic blocks are there will all be burnt up because of the grace of the Guru Shakti. So, what should you do? When you are clear about what you want, if you write down your goals and if you come, Now the energy will start flowing in that direction, and the goal manifestation, the goal materialization will be facilitated. So that is the special practice which you need to do. Start answering this question: what is it that I want in life? We are not talking of self-realization here. That is the ultimate goal. I'm talking of the other aspects of life. Be very frank and clear. Don't fool yourself. Don't say, I don't have any desires. That means you've already reached a state of Sthita Prajna. Then what are you doing here? See, unnecessarily, that question has to be asked, no? So that is an all tamas manifesting. So be very, very frank with yourself. This is what I want. Now I'm going to attend the empowerment with full bhavana. So when you build that kind of attitude, you will benefit maximum. Okay? So now we'll do the Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. beyond my physical body, beyond my pranas, beyond my emotions, beyond my thoughts, lies my higher self. My higher self is infinite and divine. From this moment onwards, I choose to practice the sadhana of Shreya. Whatever it is that I receive in life, I consider it as divine blessings. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So today we had another powerful session. See, when I say powerful session, it is not merely the intellectual principles. Talking about the energy, the higher Shakti. It was powerfully invoked. See, through these verses, we are invoking the higher Shakti. This is not merely information gathering which we're doing. It's a process of healing ourselves, purifying ourselves. That is why you should set aside the time. It's already been set aside for you, especially if you're in India. Sunday, 7 a.m. it starts. Being in India, you have no reason why you can't start at the same time. See, if you flow with the energy which the master is setting, you will benefit maximum. If you're living in a different time zone, you can choose accordingly. But it's a very sacred thing which you're doing. The invoking the divine energy through the yogic approach. So it's a very sacred sadhana. So you should not just do it casually. Okay. So keep doing your sadhana every day. Next month, the 22 days course on attracting abundance is there. So through these nididhyasana meditations, I'm sending a lot of healing energy and preparing you. It's going to be very powerful. Okay, so I'll see you in the next session. Thank you very much. Hari Om.